This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
He edited the movie himself at his house.
Oh, it looks like it.
You can tell.
He edited the movie himself?
Yeah.
Chris.
But,
Prince of Egypt was awesome.
yeah.
We gotta do
But
that
anyways,
at some point.
We should. When's the anniversary of Moses parting the Red Sea? We need to watch Prince of Egypt at that time. We'll look it up. Anyways.
Is that online?
I think it's online somewhere.
And Justin.
Were you attracted to Girl Sean at all, or is that just me? Or let's say I didn't know he was a girl for a while. I didn't know that was Sean, and
Oh my gosh.
I have some regrets. I'll just say that.
The episode starts now.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia. We revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. How's y'all's week? Good week? We've had some communication issues, particularly with Justin, because his phone is terrible.
Not my fault.
Yes, it is your fault, because you don't have an iPhone.
Justin used to have iPhone for a long time, and then he switched. And now he texts our group. I get it, and I have to. And John gets it too.
Relay the message to me.
But then John replies, and Justin doesn't get it, so I have to keep playing to Justin what
Not
John
my fault.
said.
I have done nothing wrong.
Okay. You have nostalgia news? We have a lot of nostalgia news, because this is a big week. We finally had some time to sit down and do some Disney Plus work, so Mandalorian, y'all watched it?
I've watched it.
It's pretty great.
2 episodes in, yeah.
Yeah.
It's boring.
What?
What?
It's boring, dude.
That's a
It's-
terrible opinion.
That is not. It is so slow.
Really?
And
Okay.
it bothers me.
I mean,
I'm
it's slow,
watching.
but...
I'm watching it. Like the graphics are amazing. Like the writing is good. It's just super slow.
Fine. Okay.
It's a terrible opinion.
I liked it. It has like a feeling of like an old Western, and I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
So what I'm doing right now, I guess to try to get back into like the Star Wars type of feel, is I'm rewatching all the Star Wars in chronological order, including the TV shows.
Hold on,
That's a
hold
journey.
on.
Like
What's
Clone Wars
chronological
and
order
Star
for you?
Wars. So like episode 1, episode 2.
No,
and then
that's
it
not
goes,
how you watch it. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
No, he's watching
No,
it
I'm
like
talking
with the
in
Clone Wars and
timeline,
everything.
In the
Yeah.
timeline order. Yes.
I don't like that way.
Yeah.
So I'm watching 1, 2, and then it goes to Clone Wars, like the animated movie, and then Clone Wars, the TV show, and then I think it's Star Wars Rebel, and then Star Wars Episode 3, 4. No,
No, it's
episode
3, then Rebels.
Episode 3, and then Star Wars
Rogue One.
Rogue One,
Right.
and then
Solo's in there
San
too.
Holo. Or San
Don Holo.
San
No, I
Holo.
think Han Solo came before Rogue One.
It did come before Rogue One.
It's Han
Did it?
Solo,
Okay.
then Rogue One.
And so did San Holo. That
Okay.
came before Rogue One too.
And then Don Holo, and
Don Polo. Okay. All right. Let's see that. Wow. Yeah. That's cool. I might do the same because the episode 9 is coming out in a month, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be the final of the era.
we gotta
So,
watch I guess we gotta watch Attack of the Clones at some point.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's get into this week, guys, because I feel like we have a lot to talk about, I think. So this week, we're in the middle of football season, and the reason I came up with the idea is that Mandalorian is Jon Favreau, and I really enjoy Jon Favreau's work, and this is one of his first acting movies. So, we watched...
You can tell.
No, he was great. We watched Rudy play the incredible, incredible theme. My dad loved Ohio State football and Notre Dame football growing up, so I watched this movie a lot with him. Really, really like it. And then my sister applied to go to Notre Dame, and she didn't get in. And my dad said he's never going to watch Notre Dame football again. So he hasn't. If he does watch them, he roots against them, and he's no longer a Notre Dame fan. But I still like this movie a lot. I actually showed my fiance when we started dating again, and she had never seen it, and she loves it. She watches it like every 3 or 4 months for motivation. So yeah, so it's a big movie in my world.
Oh my god!
All right, Justin, what about you?
Yeah, I saw this movie growing up. I was not that into it.
Justin,
But-
you weren't brought to tears.
No.
This is very. Special.
I made the very apparently hot opinion that this was an overrated movie.
You have no soul.
That was my thought. I did not say it was a bad movie.
Maybe your thought has changed, right?
I
Did you
said it was
rewatch
overrated. I didn't say it was a bad movie. I didn't say it wasn't good or it didn't have a good message. I just said it was overrated. People talk it up too much.
Fair enough. But your opinion might have changed, right? 'Cause you just
Well, I
rewatched
guess
it.
we'll see.
We'll see. John, how
He's
about you?
smiling. I don't
Yes,
like
we'll
it.
see.
What about you, John?
I watched this a couple times with my dad. I didn't really remember it that well because it wasn't a, I guess, I mean, it was a
Memorable?
football movie, but yeah, it wasn't just a memorable thing. It was just a couple times. A bunch of football movies that me and my dad do watch together, like Remember the Titans, a basketball movie, like Hoosiers or Coach Carter, like those type of movies when it comes to coaching. This one, I don't know. It never really struck anything with me when I was little. Where I
Okay.
like kind of put myself in those shoes.
So this this movie came out in 1993.
Fun facts, team. What are you
Oh yeah,
doing?
yeah. Sorry, I was just so
Jesus.
excited. Justin, fun facts team.
All right. Fun facts. Fun facts.
Facts.
Fun
Fun
facts.
facts.
Fun. Oh, you're not even
Fun
with me,
facts.
John.
Well, he probably is, but the
I couldn't hear.
Probably
But you get the idea. There you go. Keep going.
great. You didn't want to go with the Notre Dame fight song or anything. You went with fun facts.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This movie came out in 1993. Obviously, it's starring Sean Astin, who will later become Sam. And what else did he do? Anything fun? He was in the Goonies, I think, right?
Stranger Things.
Who?
Stranger Things, obviously.
He
Yeah.
plays a great character that of course gets killed.
Yep. Because that's what happens to him.
He's,
Oh, good.
he's my favorite character in Stranger Things. That
I
second
don't
season.
remember him mainly from Stranger Things. I don't. What was he in before?
Well, that's just his
Lord of
newest
the
thing.
Rings.
Yeah.
Everybody
Lord of the
loves his
Rings.
character. He was like he was the mom's like new boyfriend, and everybody loved him. And
Yeah.
he was he sacrificed himself for everybody.
Yeah. It was a $12 million budget, made $22 million, so it didn't really do that well. It's not bad, but
Lord of the Rings. That's where I know
yeah.
it from. Sam. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you were saying. That's what you
Yes.
said. Okay,
Yes.
okay. I didn't put those two together. I thought when you said Sam that was like his Stranger Things name. I don't know.
Gotcha. Like I said, it had a $12 million budget and made $22 million, so it doubled it, but not as big as I thought it'd be with how much of a classic this is. But yeah, it was fine. This is the first film that Notre Dame allowed to be shot on their campus since Newt Rockne All-American in 1940.
Well, that's probably why, because New Rock whatever. I'm sure that was a
All-American.
classic.
1940. I think my dad's maybe seen that movie before, unfortunately.
You're, of course. Your
It
dad
starred
sees all
starred
movies.
Ronald Reagan, guys. So
Oh,
all right.
my bad.
Okay. Yeah. Who wants to do the plot? Okay. Wait. Before we get into this, though, I need to know straight up. If I tell you guys fun facts that changes the story and it fabricates a story, is that going to lessen the points you give me?
No, because I think with sports movies, and especially with these true story things, I don't think that's an issue. Because
Okay.
I think people going forward should know. Like, it should be well known that they fabricate stories. Like,
Sure.
they brush them up. Like,
Okay.
there's a lot in Rudy that is not true, that they kind of brushed out. I don't mind that. Like, it's the
Okay.
same thing with Remember the Titans. The guy who coached it said it wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the racism,
That
but
didn't-
it was still there. He said
Yeah.
it's just upped in the movie because it has to be.
Well, and it wasn't like the first school to do that. Like
Yeah.
it had been going on all over the place. It was just a story about one that went undefeated
So
the next
I
year.
don't think that's an issue. You go into a movie knowing that it's based on a story, so it's not like
Cool.
it shouldn't be taken into account when you review it.
Okay,
It's
Rudy has
to
come out and said,
To shorten this up, yes, Chris, it's fine.
Well,
Okay,
I think
Rudy-
that's important for anybody to realize when you look at those based on true stories. Oh, that's not true. Duh, it's a Hollywood movie made to make money.
right.
Of course,
right.
it's not true.
The differences are really interesting, and we'll get into them. But Rudy did come out and say this is 92% accurate, which I think is pretty high for a movie based on a guy. So, all right, let's go ahead and do plot. Who wants to do it?
I'll do the plot.
Okay. Hater.
All right. I'm not a hater.
Okay, good.
Good
So there's
Lord.
this dude, okay? He was an idiot.
Stupid idiot.
All right?
Yeah.
Stupid idiot.
Okay,
All
good.
right. So Rudy
Yes.
is he really loves Notre Dame football. You know what good Midwestern boy wouldn't. So
Absolutely.
he played football in high school, but he's dyslexic, or he doesn't know
Yes.
that yet. But he's very average. He doesn't have the grades to go in. So
or the athletic skill to go in it.
or yeah, he's kind of he's definitely that lunch pail guy.
Yeah.
But everybody loves him. So he goes to work at the steel mill, right? Steel mill, right? Something like that.
Uh-huh.
With his dad and brothers. His brother dies in an accident.
Well, his best friend dies.
Best friend,
Best
sorry.
friend. It's his
Yeah.
Best friend, sorry. And he decides to try to make his dream come true. So he goes to Holy Cross. And he also
Junior college, basically.
yeah. And he spends a couple of years there. They find out he's dyslexic. While he's there, he meets a janitor, and he kind of befriends him, things like that. And eventually, he's able to get into Notre Dame and be a walk-on through his grades and everything. He works hard and gets there. And there's a plan to let him play, I think, his senior year, right?
His final game.
Yeah, final game. But there's a coaching change. One of the guys, the head coach from the former head coach of the Packers comes in and basically says, fuck that. You're not doing that. Well, the players all rally around behind Rudy because Rudy's a great guy. Everybody loves him. He gets into the game, and he makes a sack, and they carry him off the field. The first person, I think, ever for that to happen to.
First and only person on
Only
Notre
person
Dame.
at that time.
Yeah. I don't know if it's happened since. I don't know. I didn't look that up.
95, somebody got...
Only. Oh.
so like 30 years later.
Okay, that changes
Yeah.
this. Okay, this movie is not special anymore.
Well, it was 2 years after Rudy, so I'm sure
2 years
like,
after the movie came out.
all those kids saw Rudy like, we love you, dude, and they got him on his thing. So.
And 10 years from now, they'll make a movie about him. Whatever he did to get carried off.
To get to carry off the field.
Rudy
I don't think
too.
it was anything special. I think it was
Probably
just, like, a
better than
game-winning
this movie.
touchdown.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Probably-
I don't think it was.
Hey,
Probably
hey,
more inspiring. Probably better than this movie. His story.
sure. Hey, Justin, remember when Texas played Notre Dame and y'all won and they said Texas is back, but y'all weren't back?
I get it.
Swoops dancing for the win. Texas is back, folks.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Just thought I'd remind
Remember
you.
when A&M
Oh,
was
snap.
there? Oh.
What?
Remember when A&M was actually there?
We've never been there, so we can't go back.
Exactly. Well, at least we can go back.
That's true. All right. Okay, so cool. This movie was screenwritten by the same people that did Hoosiers. You could probably figure that out based on they kind of have the same feel. you
Yeah,
know?
I agree with that.
Same composer also, which I know you don't care about the composer, but the music is also kind of similar to each other, and that also makes sense. Ned Beatty's in this. Kind of cool. I love Ned Beatty.
It sounded like you said made babies.
Made babies.
There are lots of babies made. For this movie.
After watching this movie. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So, first scene you have is him as a little kid, and it's just setting up that his brothers don't let him play football because he's small.
He's small.
Yeah. And then
No athletic ability ever
yeah.
in his
Yeah.
life.
and then they jump ahead to his senior year, and it's his last game. His coach tells him how much heart he has, and then he's in class, and a priest tells him he can never get into Notre Dame, which I found interesting. So then he goes and works at the steel mill. Good.
No, I was about to say that priest is a little asshole.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
he didn't really believe in him.
okay, I understand that you're trying to not
Set realistic
encourage this-
expectations, yeah.
set unreal expectations, but at least
There's
don't
nicer
be that
ways to do
honest
that.
with them. I don't know. Yeah,
Right.
there's nicer ways to make that deliverance other than saying, "Hey, dude, college is not for everyone. You need the grades. You don't have the grades. You're an idiot, basically, and you're never gonna get into. You're
Right.
never gonna do it." That's what he said. He said, "You're never gonna get into Notre Dame." I was
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit! Like this dude's a jerk."
Yeah, the other priest at Notre Dame is a lot better than this priest. This priest is
Yeah.
pretty messed up. So this is the first part that's not accurate. So he actually went into the Navy right after high school for 4 years, which also
half
they
point.
didn't shut up. which they didn't include because he actually had his entire ride paid for to Notre Dame, so he didn't have to worry about money. But they wanted to add that level in the movie where he had to scrounge money to pay for it. He still couldn't get in, but he
a little bit more inspiring.
yeah. Anyways, that's the first difference. But he did go work at the steel mill, and his best friend, one of his only best friends that believed in him, did die at the steel mill, and then that's when he made the decision to try to get into Notre
Poor
Dame.
Pete.
Poor Pete.
So he was in the Navy for 4 years, and then he went
Yeah.
to the steel mills for another
Yeah.
4 years.
No, it was only about 2 years, I think. They said 4 years later in the movie,
Ah.
but it's about 2 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was old when he went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was about to
finally.
say that's like 24,
25.
24?
You have to kind
Yeah.
of remember, especially like in the 60s and 70s, it was pretty common for people to go into the Army, Air Force, places like that, and then go back to college.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty
Yeah.
common. Think of like
so he-
Staubach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Went to Navy. He played there, but then
Yeah.
he had to do his service, and then he played for the
Yep.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Pretty common.
What I was gonna say is, did he? So he didn't go to junior college before.
No, he did. I mean, after
did.
that, he did because he couldn't get into Notre Dame, so he could pay
so
for it.
Is Holy
but he
Cross
could-
Junior?
Yeah, I think so.
Jeez. So he was
Maybe.
like 20. He was like 28
Yeah, probably.
by the time he
Yeah.
got into Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess it's not a junior college, is it? It's just a small college.
Yeah, it's not a junior. It's
just a Catholic
uh,
college near Notre Dame. Yeah.
I thought he said it was a junior college.
I mean, compared to
Uh,
Notre
I
Dame, I guess
I
it
thought he
would
said.
be.
I thought he said it in the movie that I can get you into so and so junior college,
Maybe.
and then if you have the grades, then you can get into Notre Dame.
I don't see it on their Wikipedia page. It does not say if they're a junior college or not.
Well, who wants to put that on their college?
That's a good point. Either way, it's easier to get in apparently than Notre
Who wants
Dame.
to go to the junior?
Yeah, but no. So that did happen. So then he's struggling in school at the junior college. The priest gets him in for one semester and says, if you make grades, you can stay another semester, another semester, another semester. But he's having trouble, and he meets a friend named Bebop, real person, and he helped him tutor him.
That's John.
And
That's John Favreau.
John Favreau, yep. He's pretty funny in this. You didn't think he was very good at acting?
He was okay.
I mean, yeah, it was. I've never thought John. Okay, John Favreau. He's a great director. Like he knows directing, like back and forth. But when
Yeah.
it comes to acting, I never felt like he had it.
Okay. Never had the stuff.
He didn't have it. So every single time I see him in, like, I don't know. Recently, he's been in Spider-Man or like the Iron Man movies, or what was the ones he did before that?
He's in
They were
Chef.
pretty
That's
famous.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Chef.
he's good in that. Yeah, that's
I-
also his movie. He was in "I Love You, Man." He's really funny in that. I think
Yeah, I just never thought he had the X factor. Just the act. I don't know.
they did that movie Swingers with him and Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn's in this movie. This is Vince Vaughn's first movie, also.
Yeah, okay. I did not recognize him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at it for a little bit. I was like, that kind of looks like Vince Vaughn, but that is so young. He
Yeah.
looks so young.
yeah.
Like his
That's,
face looks super skinny compared to what he looks like now. He's kind of fat.
yeah. It's true. I mean, compared to that, but he was big and tall and stuff, and I think that's what they were going for. So,
I don't know.
anyways.
It's weird looking at him.
D-Bob can't talk to girls, so he and Rudy decide that they're gonna make a deal where he'll help him with his grades if he can have him meet girls. So they do.
The way he does it is just he like introduces himself. Hey, I'm Rudy. Hey, have you met my friend?
He just runs up to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty great. Did y'all like the scene when the hot girl comes up to him and says, "Hey, what are you doing at the dance?" And then she turns around and it's that nerdy girl eating. That was someone who wants to go on a date with Bebop.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was
She
pretty
was
fun.
like, yeah, what are you doing? And he like wasn't answering. That was the funniest part in the movie.
He was
when
so
she's
he
talk-
was-
when she's
yeah.
talking to him and he's just like still faced. Mm-hmm. And then she goes at the very end because you think she's interested. She
Yeah.
goes, hey, like I have my roommate over here.
Yeah.
And you can take her to the dance. And
She's
she's
super
like,
nerdy.
Yeah. You like that? Or do you like more the dominant?
I would
Me?
rather somebody
It's just-
step on me, but
All right. Okay.
Okay. He also this time tries to get on like the pep rally squad or whatever it's called, where he like has to set up gold. Anyways, let's just skip the junior.
He tries to paint the helmets.
Right.
He tries to get the pep rally floats together.
Yeah.
He can't do that because he doesn't go to Notre Dame.
Right.
And then that's when he makes the decision to take on the janitor role at the Notre Dame
Field.
stadium.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he meets this mysterious man who is like the head custodial guy, and he hates everything about. His name's Fortune. He hates everything about football, but you don't really know why. But he takes him on. It's kind of cool. He doesn't have anywhere to sleep, and Fortune sees him open the window, and so he knows. And so like the next night, he leaves a key and a blanket and pillow for him. And then, but when he goes and talks to him about it, he's like, "I know nothing about it." It's kind of a cool scene. I liked it. Fortune's one of my favorite characters.
Is
He's
he
really
is he a
good.
real person?
No. Apparently, it's based on a. It is based on a janitor that he knew, but he never worked for somebody. But he did have one janitor who said he would come to the game if he played, but he didn't have any backstory with Notre Dame. So.
No.
Anyways, he tries every semester to get in, and he keeps failing. And then the last semester, he gets it. And man, I have trouble getting through this scene. I get a little teary-eyed when he's opening the letter, and he starts crying when he's reading the letter saying he got in.
it's probably my favorite scene. I think.
Is it?
I think
fan?
it is because I think anybody opening that acceptance letter from somewhere they really wanted to go, like that's a pretty cool moment. And for somebody who had to work that hard and everything, I really like that scene. That was really cool.
Yeah.
'Cause that's that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just
I
for like,
understand.
a couple semesters there, maybe. So.
I'll tell this
Yeah.
now. I understand why a lot of people do like this movie because they can see themselves within the character. Like they remember themselves opening up that letter going
Right,
to college.
right.
They remember themselves struggling through something, trying super hard to get it, and then finally actually getting it. Like I understand why it does it. In my opinion, though, I don't feel like a lot of people are like Rudy. Like a lot of people see themselves within Rudy, but I don't feel like a lot of people are Rudy. Like
I feel like most people would get annoyed by somebody like Rudy. Like he's a little bit too much. Like
I mean,
there's that
he
scene-
is.
He's a
No,
lot
he
to take
definitely
in.
is.
He's a lot to take in. There's that scene like when he goes and talks to the coach, and then like the next day he tries to get into practice. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm friends with the coach." Like he's like that annoying guy who like just like tries to be a little bit over the top, and like, and you can see the frustration when he's playing the football, like how passionate he is. Like I would be like, "Dude, chill out." Like I'd be just like them. I'd be like, "Calm down." We are third string players. You are not. And so then so he gets in. And then he has the next mound. And I feel like this is kind of like a shift in the movie. Like the first half isn't really about football at all. And then the second half is like all about football. And it's pretty great. I really like the second half of this movie. And this is my favorite scene. The first scene of him on the tryouts. And like that guy's
He's
speech
just
about
getting
how you're...
stomped. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
but
about?
that guy's speech is like, you're literally not going to make the team. Like, there's no way. And I just like that scene a lot. I like that whole, and the music's great.
Let me tell it to you as clean as I can. We have 95 players here, so accomplished as athletes in high school. We gave them full scholarships to the best football program in the country. NCAA regulations allow us to dress just 60 for home games, which means at least 35 scholarship players are going to be watching the games from the stands. So if any of you has any fantasies about running out of that stadium tunnel with your gold helmet shining in the sun, you best leave them right here. Of you 15 dreamers out there, maybe we'll keep one or two. My job is to basically beat the shit out of you for the next 5 days. And whoever is still standing at the end, maybe we'll use for our scout teams. You'll be running the opposition's plays week in and week out. The greatest value to us is we don't care whether you get hurt. Our first teams are gonna pound on you like you're their worst enemies. You like what you hear so far? Any of you want to run home to mama? Now's your chance. Joe, it's all yours.
Well, don't just stand there trying to think. Let's hit those ropes. Come on, move it! Move it! I say, come on!
Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up. High knee. It's a high knee drill, gentlemen. Let's go. Pump your arms, keep your heads up, keep your heads up. That's it. Don't step on that rope. Now, up and down. Let's go. Quickness, quickness. We want to see how quick you are here. Over the right middle, man. Keep it going, keep it going. Keep some times enough. Heads up, keep moving, keep moving. Pump those arms that backward run. Keep sliding, move your
Oh, we can't forget about the music.
He's bleeding and stuff, and they said that they get to pick who they want to be on the team, and the defensive coordinator, I guess, is like, sure, bring him on. So they bring on Rudy as a practice squad tackle dummy, basically.
Yeah.
All that's true. He didn't get into the very last semester, and he did go right onto the practice squad, and only a few made it, and he was one of them. So,
Do you really think he made it through his heart, or do you think he made it through skill?
so apparently he was better than they made it seem, but he was still very small, and still probably would not have made the team.
Yeah, I think that a lot of it had to do with the size.
Yeah.
Because sorry, they don't put you in just for fun.
Right.
I mean, he had something there. He just wasn't big enough.
Right.
So I wish they kind of made him seem like he was a better player. Because
Because he
don't-
was.
Like you don't get to play even you don't get even to be a
mean,
walk on.
Yeah, unless you're.
not being decent.
Yeah.
He needed to be shown that he's like an average Joe.
Right.
And an
Even though he
average-
wasn't.
And an average Joe is average. Like
Yeah.
they're not good enough to make a football team.
Yeah.
So
But they didn't show him breaking tackles and stuff like after
But
he
you could
tried
be
a
an
couple
average
times.
football player and still be an average human still.
Right. Right.
I just think that part kind of bugged me because it's like even like the best walk-on could probably kick our asses.
Oh, yeah.
like, easily
yeah.
on
Uh-huh.
anything. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it didn't happen. So
So then,
I could get on it too.
so then he starts pissing off the other players. Like, dude, you gotta chill out. You're gonna calm down. And I like the scene when he's talking to that guy, and that guy's like you're gonna get yourself killed. And he's like, if I don't be this way, I'm not gonna get you guys ready. And then he like kind of looks at him like with respect, like, like okay, good. You know what I mean?
So yeah. So what we're talking about is that Rudy he's going gun ho every single play.
Yeah.
And he's not like relaxing at all. Like when some people just kind of get knocked down, he's getting right back up. And like the whole entire movie, they say he has a lot of heart,
Right.
Because he's trying so hard to
More
in
like
his
he's
role in the
brown-nosing.
team.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like he's doing that. I don't like honestly. It doesn't feel like he is like just knowing his character.
Uh-huh.
Like he's genuinely trying to just do everything, just by the book. Hey, this is my job. I need to do this job.
He's still a
Yeah.
brown
And
noser.
everyone else sees him as he's kind of sucking up to all the coaches.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And then the biggest one who gets the most upset about is Vince Vaughn in practice. I like this scene too when he's like,
What's your problem, O'Hara? What's your problem? What's your problem? Last practice of the season, and this asshole thinks it's the Super Bowl. You just summed up your entire sorry career here in one sentence. If you had a tenth of the heart of Rudiger's, you could have made All-American. As it is, you just went from the third team to the prep team. Go on, get out of here. Get me another tailback.
Okay, coach.
Come on, let's run it.
Let's rock some minutes. Come on now.
Go, D-Dubs, come on now.
His family still doesn't really believe in him, even though he got into Notre Dame. His dad's proud of him, but they don't think he's ever going to play football. His brother's a jerk. And,
One of his brothers took his girl.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
His fiance,
Like what?
right?
Like
Yeah.
he went off to college and he broke up with her. Like, let's be honest, he
Yeah,
did break
yeah.
up with her. But
That's like
af-
guy code.
It,
Though.
and, right. He broke up with her, and then he left for college, and then he gets back for a holiday, and his brother's like with his girl. I'm like,
Yep.
"Ooh, damn.
That girl was a jerk. When they were at the house, and he's like,
I put in my time.
she literally says, look, bub. Like, what the heck? She's terrible. But yeah,
She goes,
she's-
look,
I
bub,
think
I
if
put in my
y'all-
time. I watch you do all this stuff, and now it's my turn for this house and for marriage.
I think if any one of us did that to each other, we should basically, shun the other.
that'll be
That's
the end
not
of the podcast.
That's not cool.
That'll be the end of the podcast.
You
That's
out.
either friendship.
You out.
End of friendship. Yep. Okay, so the family's kind of a jerk. He goes to the coach and says, "Hey, my family doesn't really believe that I'm part of this team. Can I play one game next year?" And the coach agrees. So here's a little bit of a twist difference. So part of the problem was why he wasn't maybe not playing, that he was worried about not playing his senior year, is because the NCAA changed the rules, and you weren't allowed to have as many players in uniform. So like the idea of a walk-on even being allowed was even slimmer.
A dress list or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. They changed the rules. Dan Devine came in as the coach the next year, and he was not a jerk like he is in the movie. They kind of needed a villain. The uniform scene, which we'll get to, never happened.
It was Dan Devine's idea to put him in the game, right?
So, well, it was a decision that was going to happen. Dan Devine actually, they let him read the script before they started, and they said like they wanted to make sure he's okay with it. And he called Rudy and said, "Look, they're making me a terrible person in this movie, but I'm going to do it just because I love you," which I thought was kind of cool. So he was a little mad that they did it, but
At least they talked to him.
Yeah, they did talk to him. They told him what they were going to do. So they made him seem like a jerk, and they don't really explain why he cared so much. Like, he never wanted to put him in, even after like they were up like crazy on Georgia Tech. It doesn't make much sense,
Yeah,
but
he's a jackass, right?
they just need that. They need that drama, right? So he goes through the whole senior year and doesn't get on any of them, and then he decides he's going to quit because he doesn't get on the final roster. And he goes and talks to Fortune, and Fortune tells him that he was once a player and didn't think he was allowed to play because he was black. But it turns out, and then so he had like the self-righteous view, and it makes Rudy go back to do the last practice, even though he knows he's not going to play, which is a cool scene. They all clap for him as he walks up.
That's a really cool scene. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes when it came to like a non-comical thing.
Fortune telling him that stuff.
Well, that and then having
Him walking
him
back.
walk onto the field
Uh-huh.
because he told everyone that he quit.
Right.
And to see him walk back and to see everyone's reaction saying like, "Oh, like this dude's not gonna give up," and
Right.
it just kind of seemed like the rest of the team wasn't gonna give up either.
It's Rudy.
Welcome back. Line up.
What the hell's going on down there? Let's get back to work. 60 hits. Ready? Irish!
And then you have Dan Devine like, "What's going on down there? Get back to work." It's an evil person. But
The hell you doing, clapping?
yeah, 55 laps. And then so then they let him do his practice, and then all the players come in and say they want Rudy to play in their place, and they drop off the jerseys on his desk. Dan Devine famously quoted after that, "If a player ever put their jersey on my desk, they'd never see the jersey again." So he wasn't too happy about that.
Damn.
So Dan Devine lets him play the final game. I also get really emotional when he's coming out of the locker room and Fortune's there watching him go out because he promised him that if he ever played the game, he'd watch the game.
Play like a champion today.
Yep. I love Notre Dame's tradition. Man, they have some cool stuff.
Yeah, Notre Dame's pretty cool. I like the helmets, all that.
The field's really old looking. Like
yeah.
They never updated it. It's pretty cool.
You were saying that they didn't do the jerseys thing,
Right.
but you said the coach already planned on having him dress for the
Yes.
first game.
For the last game.
I'm sorry, for the last game
Yeah.
of the season.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So he was going to be on the
Okay.
sideline. I don't know if the plan was ever to put him in. I think it was because they were up by so much they put him in. You know.
Okay.
But anyways,
was it at the time that they did it? Like was it like one of the last plays
Yep.
of the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
His parents did go to the game. Or I don't know if the parents actually. I'm sorry. Not in real life. In the movie, the parents go to the game. I don't know if they did. I'm sure they did in the real life one. But and the dad's like really emotional because he's always watching Notre Dame football on the TV, but he's never seen it live. While they're in the stands, behind them is the actual Rudy. He's one of the. I'll put the video up in the movie or in the video clip in the YouTube video, but he's actually up there, the actual Rudy. They filmed it during a halftime of a game for Notre Dame. All the scenes of them on the field. That's why they had the full crowd.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they went out there in halftime and filmed it. Okay, so they're up by a lot. They do this stupid thing. I think it's really corny and not real, but they do this thing where they try to get another score so defense can go out, so he can go back out. None of that happened.
That didn't happen?
No.
What?
But then he does go out for the kick.
That was cool.
It was very nice, and it was Vince Vaughn that did it. Vince Vaughn was the one that set up the play for
A
him.
heart of gold now.
I did it for you. I did it for you.
I did it for you. And then he goes out for the kickoff, and he's like, "What do I do?" And he's like, "Just stay out there." And then he goes out there, and what position is he in? Linebacker.
We miss the most famous part of the whole entire thing.
Oh, the Rudy.
Yes.
37 seconds remaining, and it'll be all over here at Notre Dame Stadium. Off to our left, I'm starting to pick up the chant from the Notre Dame student body. Can't quite make out just what it is at the moment.
Yeah.
So like the whole reason he went out there within the movie, I don't know if it happened. Did it happen in real life?
No.
No. The audience did not chant.
They didn't chant it.
No.
Oh my god.
The players started like chanting a little bit because when they started realizing how far up they were and like the chance of him going in, but no, not the whole audience did not chant Rudy.
No, that's the most famous part of this movie.
I mean, it's cool, but it didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. Yeah.
So so to get them on the field, the player starts to chant Rudy,
Yep.
Rudy, Rudy, and then he gets the players to say it, and then he gets the stands to say it,
Yep.
and then everyone in the stadium is chanting Rudy.
And then the announcer
Rudy.
It's corny,
figures
but
it out.
pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's a good scene. Yeah. But no, it didn't happen. I'm sorry.
He does get the sack. So he gets the sack.
Oh my gosh.
So he goes in. He's a linebacker. He gets the sack. What kind of play was it, Justin?
So
You
this is
know.
true. So he did go on the kickoff, but
Yeah.
it was not the next play he got a sack. It was actually an incomplete pass.
Oh, okay.
Then he got the sack.
Gotcha.
So they just
gotcha.
skipped the second play, which is unforgivable. No points. But he does have a sack. That was that did really happen. He did get actually carried off the field.
Yes. He. My favorite thing is that whenever.
Sack was the last play of the game.
Yes.
Yep. And then they carried him off the field
Chris.
with it.
Sorry, Chris.
No, it's
Sorry,
fine.
Chris.
My favorite thing ever is college game day. Whenever Notre Dame is playing, there's inevitably going to be one sign that says Rudy was offsides. I love it.
Which he was.
Was he?
I think he actually was.
Oh, was he
That's
offsides?
true, I think.
He was just excited. Anyways, he made
He
the
was
play.
offsides on the play.
Yeah, he was offside. He lined up offsides. He was an end.
That's awesome. Well, anyways, they
Dang.
carry him off the field, and then they have a little sign that says that he was the only person to be carried off the field, which apparently changed 2 years later, unfortunately.
In '93, after the movie. But
Yeah.
did you
It's not
have you seen like
rememberable.
those parody ones that he's doing now, where he's He's
The
the Rudy
Chick-fil-A
is
guy?
KFC.
Yeah, that's really funny. It's Sean Astin. He's the Colonel, and he's like inspiring a football team. It's pretty funny.
I want to pivot real quick. Those
Okay.
KFC commercials with different people, I kind of like those.
They've gotten pretty ingenious. The
I like
first
it.
one I remember seeing was Norm Macdonald, and I was like, that's a good choice. And then I saw somebody else. I was like, what are they doing? And now I kind of get it, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just a little pivot. I like those.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, in KFC news, did you know that like in the summer they were selling just fried chicken skin? You could just buy the skin to eat.
That's disgusting.
Okay, hey, I'm about to tell you some nostalgia stuff about me. When my parents would buy chicken, my dad would tear off the chicken skin and just give it to me. That's all I ate.
Ugh. It's just fried. That's all
I
it is.
know. That's all I ate.
It's just bread.
That's all I ate. Yeah, it's
Ugh.
completely all what it is. But I didn't. When I was little, I didn't like chicken. So I just ate the fried skin around it.
You would have loved the KFC skins. You should have gone and get some.
I should have got it. On
That's Rudy.
Anyways, let's do final
It all
thoughts.
comes back, you know.
John,
Yeah,
what'd you
it
think?
comes back. Okay, so this movie, just like I said before, I understand why Chris likes this movie.
Oh yeah.
Because I see a lot of Chris in Rudy.
He's so
Like,
average.
honestly.
Oh, thank
No,
you, John.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like Chris has a lot of heart.
Oh.
I feel like that he
Couldn't get in the Notre
when it comes
Dame.
to when it comes to certain things, he tries his hardest to accomplish those goals.
And can barely
That's
do
very
it.
nice.
So I feel like the reason why Chris likes it so much is because he sees himself in Rudy a lot.
It's very nice of you, John.
But
He's an idiot.
But I didn't feel like this until I saw it. But the movie is kind of overrated a little.
Oh my
There's-
gosh.
There was some lines. Hey, listen. So there were some lines where I felt like they probably should have like retook those lines,
Okay.
like refilmed it to kind of make it a little bit smoother, a little bit better, and they didn't.
Okay.
It bothered me a lot because I saw it like 5 times.
Okay.
Where people would like stutter and like they would say something and then it wasn't. I didn't really understand what they were trying to say. I didn't really like the speeches that they would give, like the inspiring stuff that they would like. It was all more emotion within the action, and it less than like lines, like famous lines that you would hear within like inspiring movies type of stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm gonna give you a full point,
Oh, okay.
but
Barely.
yeah, I don't know. The movie was okay.
Golly. All right.
It was okay.
You guys are hurting my feelings. Go ahead, Justin.
The point of this is, does it hold up? Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna make this very clear as we go through this. Thank you, John, for saying that is overrated, because it is overrated.
No.
It is. It's still a good movie.
Uh-huh.
That I think that should be very clear to everybody I'm talking to. I like this movie still. It's still a good movie. It doesn't mean it's one of the best movies ever. I think people overtalk this movie. I think they uptalk it too much. It's okay. It's a good sports movie. I think there are much better ones.
I was about to say, I have something else to say, adding on to mine. What I'm thinking of when it comes to my mind and it being an okay movie is, like, I put it in the category of sports movies. And there's so many good sports movies out there. And comparing this sports movie to, like, all the great iconic sports movies that are out there,
It's not the
I
stuff.
feel like it would be in an okay movie.
Yes. It's for me, it's middle of the road, but it's still a point. It holds up. I like watching it. Which I never said I didn't like watching it. Some people twisted my words. It's still a point, but it is overrated.
Okay.
It's not as
So here's-
good as you think it is.
Here's my thought. To me, all sports movies seem very similar. Most of them. Miracle, all of them are about these underdogs. We Are Marshall. And yes, it's about the players, it's about the people, but like this is a different story. This is about one guy who's barely remembered because he made one sack.
You're
in one
super
play of the
defensive for getting 2 points.
game. I know, but y'all need to like it.
We like
It's not
it.
overrated. I know.
I told you. I
know.
thought it was I didn't say it was a good movie. I said it was an okay movie. But I'm
It's fine.
comparing it.
There's
again,
better
comparing
movies.
It to other
It's
sports
okay.
movies. Yes.
I love it. I'm gonna go
There's
rewatch
better
it.
movies out there.
You're
After we
so
finish this
defensive.
today.
I'm gonna take away your points if you don't calm down.
And one of my best opinions is Coach Carter is one of the best like sports movies out there right now. I
Where
love Coach
a
Carter.
coach takes an underdog team and goes further than anybody thought they were going to. Sounds
No,
familiar.
Like, no, actually, I mean, they didn't like win anything.
I know.
Coach Carter.
Chris, I
Anyways.
think you're too tied on the whole genre thing. Well, we're more tied on it's just average. Like,
I disagree.
Like Rudy.
I don't. It has nothing to do with it being a sports movie. It has nothing to do with being not a sports movie. It's just, it's a movie that's average and that people blow out, I think, overrate. It's good, but it's not amazing. Like, there's nothing wrong with the story. I like it. I think it's well acted. I think it's well written. But
It was very. It
it's
was.
not.
It was
it's
well
just
acted.
not. But it's not better than the others. And I think it just puts on a pedestal because people do really like Rudy, like the person. There's nothing wrong with that. You could like a movie more for that, but I think it's still overrated as a movie. I like it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think the characters are great. I think the dad is deep. Like he doesn't want to leave his comfort of his home. Brother's a normal, annoying brother, and then Fortune's an incredible character. I think the character is just so good. I think it's the best sports movie, personally.
See, Justin. Chris sees himself within this movie, so what he's thinking is that we're attacking him.
Exactly.
Like, that's what it is. This is what it is.
I try really hard, guys. You guys knock me down.
He's so defensive for 2 points. It's hilarious.
I'm sorry.
I know.
it's
I
just-
think he's like arguing with us, like you need to like this movie. You need to give me. Oh no, wait.
Even
you
though
already
we've
gave me
said
2 points.
constantly, we like the movie.
I texted y'all during it. I'm going to be very sensitive about this movie because I love it.
You are. Let's just
There's no other movie that I tear up 3
Let's
times.
move
in.
on before you cry. What are we watching next week?
You cried in this movie.
I didn't cry. I tear
No,
up 3
before he
times every
cries.
single time I watch it.
So it's okay. Hey, let me guess. Okay,
All
so it's the opening the letter.
Yep.
It's the
Going onto the field.
Yeah. It's when he sees Fortune. Yeah.
Yeah, like the speech thing
When he-
that he.
Well, no, it's when he's about to walk out and he sees Fortune because Fortune says he's going to come to the first game. I'm going to cry thinking about it. And then him getting
Okay.
carried off.
feeling complete.
And here you're getting carried off.
Yep. Those are the 3 moments.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So, anyways, thank you for the 2 points, you jerks.
Wow. Hey, John, what are we watching next week?
Oh my god.
What are we watching next week? Have we decided?
Oh my gosh.
All right, so
It's a good-
the next couple weeks, we'll do some Christmas movies.
We're in December,
We'll
and we have 3 more weeks.
Our Christmas extravaganza.
Yeah.
So we'll do
Ho, ho,
another
ho.
3-parter. So we're
that-
going to do 3
Is
Christmas
that what we're
movies.
calling this?
I guess
Calling
so.
this-
That's what we're going to call it.
I
Or
like
Another
it.
Man's
Homie.
Christmas. There we go.
The 3 homigos.
We're going to call it Another Man's Christmas.
Another Man's Christmas. I like
So,
it.
John, what's our first Another Man's Christmas movie?
So this is going to be Home Alone. Home Alone. I really enjoyed this.
What's
I
it called?
really enjoyed
Home
this when
Alone?
I was Home Alone. I don't know if you ever heard.
No,
of
I've
it.
heard of that one.
But I used to like do traps in my own home after seeing this movie like every single time.
Really?
So, I would put like different traps in my home just to see if my parents would walk through them.
Your parents were like, what is this idiot doing? Why are there
No, I just want to.
But I would have to, because they would try to come in. I'd be like, no. You cannot come in yet. You have to wait like 5 minutes.
They're like, shut up.
What a weird kid. So just to make sure, just to confirm, we're not watching Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, or Home Alone, The Holiday Heist, or Home Alone
No.
3,
No.
or Home Alone 2. We're watching Home Alone.
We're
Right?
watching Home Alone.
Okay. Okay,
Nothing
cool.
else
I'm excited about this. I usually watch this every year, but it'll be cool to revisit and talk about it.
You
with-
watch this every year? I do not.
I do too. It's definitely a classic.
It's usually on at some point, and I just watch it when it's on. I don't make a point to watch
So
it.
the actor, I forget his name, but
Macaulay
he's, like,
Culkin.
he's been through.
Macaulay
He's
Culkin.
been through some shit.
he seems healthy now, but yes, he had a rough,
Yeah, he's
he had a
fine
rough
now,
spot.
but he's had it rough.
Yeah.
He's been
And-
through some stuff, which is very sad.
We'll talk about it next week because he talks about like why his child acting is worse than most. Really, it's just because he has to relive it every single year. Every single year, people watch the movie and then they see him. Like most child actors, that show is now in the past. Like nobody rewatches it, everybody watches this every single year, and he has to deal with it. It's really depressing.
But it's such a classic.
It is a classic, and he's great. He's an incredible actor for 8 or however old he was.
So yeah, we're watching Home Alone. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies growing up. When I think of Christmas, I think of it's weird. I think of Catch Me If You Can, which is weird.
Oh yeah, it's Christmas.
I know
yeah.
I mean, I don't really consider it a Christmas movie, but
it takes place at Christmas.
It takes most of the setting takes place at Christmas, and I think of this movie. So
okay, cool. All right. Well, next week sorry.
Boom.
Oh, hey John,
Sounds
where
like a
could you
gong.
find us on the internet if you want to know what we're doing or talk to us?
All right, so you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Another Man's Pod. You can also email us at anothermanspod@gmail.com. We have a Twitch that you can go to. No videos are posted yet, so you just gotta chill out for just
chill out for the last 3 months.
Little bit longer, just a little bit longer.
Just 3 more months.
I'm about to get my new computer.
Hey, I do have
over Thanksgiving break.
But I do have something on the
out.
Patreon members of me playing Super Mario 64. Doing the first third of the game. So if you want to go check that out, you can.
You can also watch Chris sleeping
mentioned
for 8
our
hours.
Patreon. We do have a Patreon.
Yep.
And you get extra content. If you join Patreon, you will give you a shout out, and we'll you can
suggest something.
Yeah, suggest a TV show or
And
a
we
video
have-
game.
we have to do it.
Yes, or a movie that we have to do.
And-
we don't have a choice, which sucks, but we have to do it.
And now, big announcement. Drum roll, please. You can add that in post.
Okay.
All right. We are now on Drive Plug.
Oh my god. Dry plug?
Drive Plug.
Drive plug. That sounds like a porn website.
I see a hard drive and I see my plugs. Not my hair.
Sounds like a porn website right there.
I know many of those. I'm not gonna say them out loud.
Okay.
I mean, what?
Are we on those?
Okay. Anyway, what old episodes should we suggest?
Season
Catch
3,
Me-
episode 4.
Oh, okay.
I like Jingle All the Way. I think it's a better option.
Yeah. So
What's season 3,
I mean,
episode 4?
Christmas is coming up, and we're only gonna be doing 3 episodes up until Christmas. So you can just add a 4th one in. Just
That's
do
right.
Jingle All the Way.
So Jingle All the Way is season 2, episode 22. Justin, you mentioned season 3, episode 04. That's Super Mario Bros. The movie. Don't listen to that.
We definitely got all 3 points on that.
That wasn't a great episode.
No, that was a terrible
we
show.
We just trashed that whole entire
But no, Jingle All the Way, season 2, episode 22. Check that out.
It's good. It's good episode. Good
Yep.
episode.
All right, yeah, like I said, you can if you are on a Patreon, there's a new video up of me playing Super Mario Bros. Super Mario 64. I love that game. Go check that out, and we will see you next week with Home Alone.
Peace.